Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake. Well, what we're going to make is actually a chocolate half sheet cake. I have a yellow half sheet cake video, and a lot of people have been writing that they really enjoyed the yellow batter, that they'd like to see me make a chocolate half sheet cake. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let me put that down for a second. What you first want to do is you're going to need 32 tablespoons of butter, and that's the salted butter. And what you'll want to do is put it in a pan on your stove and begin to start to melt it. And then you're going to be adding water. And you're going to need 3 cups of water to the butter. And you'll want to stay with it just till it kind of bubbles along all around your pan. You don't want to bring it to boiling, but you do want to see some small bubbles all on the perimeter of your pan. And that's exactly what I did to save some time. I have the butter in the pan with the water, and you probably can see it is still a little bit warm. I don't know if you can see that or not. And you'll want to take it off your stove. Once again, like I said, if you have some small bubbles all around your pan, or pot I should say, take it off the heat just as I have. And what you're going to be putting in is unsweetened baking cocoa, and you're going to need a half a cup for that, and just put that right into that liquid mixture. And then with your spoon or a whisk, you'll want to go ahead and then just keep stirring till everything is dissolved and all the unsweetened cocoa has been combined. You don't have to beat it or anything like that. Just stir it as I am. And within really a few minutes, it will, come together, and it will combine nicely. Okay. Now, once you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to add milk, and you're going to need 1 cup of milk. Now, if you don't want to use just regular milk, go ahead and use buttermilk if you prefer. But that was 1 cup of milk, and just put that in, and again just keep stirring. By now it starts to cool down more because of the milk and that type of thing. If you find that you overheated it too much, let it set and cool down first, because we're going to be putting eggs in, and we don't want to make scrambled eggs. So I'm just going to put a little bit of egg in and then stir it, see how it's doing, checking with the temperature, just a little at a time, and it's doing fine. It's not too hot at this point, so I can go ahead and combine it. And again, I'm just putting a little of the eggs. Now, on the eggs, you're going to need 4 eggs, and they have to be slightly beaten in a bowl. And I went ahead, and of course those were beaten ahead of time for the video. And that was 4 eggs. And now I've just combined it all together in my pan. And you're going to be putting in vanilla. So you'll need 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and put that in. And I'm just going to let that set aside for a little bit. It'll also cool while I'm doing this. Now, for your dry ingredients, you're going to need 5 cups of all-purpose flour. Now, that's 5 cups. Now, again, that might seem a lot, but again, you're making a half a sheet cake. So 5 cups is what you need. You're also going to be putting in 4 cups of granulated sugar to your flour. That was 4 cups. And then I'm just going to start stirring this in with my spoon, the sugar and the flour, combining it. Okay. You're also going to need baking soda. You need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. and just start stirring that into your dry mixture. The last thing that you're going to be putting in is salt, and you'll need a half a teaspoon of salt. And again, just stir it, mix it, combine it. Okay? All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the dry into my mixer here. I'll use my spoon just a little at a time. Okay. All right, that's all in. Okay. And now I'm going to start slowly putting in this wet ingredient, of course, into the dry. And we're going to do it at low. I'm just going to start, a little bit. I'm just slowly pouring it in. Once it starts to combine, you can raise your speed a little bit. You don't want to go too high because you don't want this to splatter all over. Make sure that you've got everything out of your pan. All right. And then it's just a matter of combining and mixing it. You want it to be smooth. You don't want to overbeat it, but you want to make sure there's no lumps in your batter. Meanwhile, you're going to be greasing your pan, or if you prefer to use parchment paper. I went ahead and used a solid shortening, and then I did dust it with flour. Okay, and this is a 12 by 18 pan, and it is 2 inches in depth. Okay. Now I'm going to just raise my speed just a little bit. To make sure everything's been blended and beaten together. Okay, and I'll remove my paddle. And then I'm going to continue mixing this for a little bit, just to make sure that everything's combined. And I've cleaned the sides of my mixing bowl and got to the bottom. Now this particular batter might seem a little thin to you, but it's going to bake up just beautifully. It really will. It will produce a nice, light, moist chocolate cake. And I think you're going to be very pleased with it. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to start to pour this into my baking pan. And again, level it off. I want to get that all out of there. Now you're going to bake this a little bit slower than maybe you're used to. I like to bake it at 325 degrees, and it takes generally anywhere from 40 minutes to 50 minutes. It's going to really depend on your oven. Mine actually came up, I think, within 43 minutes, something like that. But again, start checking it, because we do realize that all our ovens they set up so differently. And I have a couple little bubbles here, so I'm just going to tap them out. So again, I bake it at 325, and it could come up anywhere between 40 and 50 minutes. So don't forget, please keep checking on that. And then I like to check it with a toothpick or a cake tester. Lightly touch the cake. If it bounces back, you know that it's baked. Also, the sides of the cake will pull away from the pan a little bit. We know that that's another indication that it's been properly baked, and the cake needs to come out of the oven. Now I have one to show you, and this is it. And I hope you can see it. I just went ahead though and I put a little bit of chocolate sprinkles on top. And what I like to do with that is once it comes out of the oven, they have a tendency to melt a little bit. And then I actually just take a knife to smooth out the whole top. It also covers up the holes from the cake testers or the toothpicks that were left in the cake, and it just smooths that out really nice before I put, you know, a frosting on it. Now, if you're looking for a frosting for this cake, I have several. I have easy frostings. I have frostings that you cook on the stove. I do have a great butter cream frosting, so check that out or use your favorite recipe. And on a lot of my frostings, you would have to double them because you're going to need more. I will be putting on a larger scale frosting for the sheet cakes, and I'm hopefully going to do that real soon. So there you have it. You've got a chocolate half sheet cake. It really turns out and bakes up just delicious, very moist and very tender. These are great for parties. I make them when I donate my baked goods to my church and other local charities where I donate what I bake. And everyone just tells me how much they enjoy them and love these sheet cakes. So again, I do have a golden half sheet video. Check that out and give this one a try. If you like it, you had good results, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. And as always, thanks for watching Diane Lovetobake, and please subscribe to my channel. I'll see you soon.